Don't you know we're talking about a revolution? Sounds like a whisper. Don't you know we're talking about a revolution? It sounds like a whisper.
My job and my mission and my hope is that as we go forth and create a more awareness of the needs of these women coming home from incarceration, that at someday really soon, they will be able to achieve all that they need to and become active and productive citizens.
There's methodologies that respond differently to the genders, and we should recognize that. So
the loop is never closed with them.
While they're standing in the welfare lines.
This movement to respond to the movement or the needs of the gender of women.
Don't you know?
A lot of times in the court system and in criminal justice system, we only respond to the generic needs of men. What they tend to, because you have more men going into the criminal justice system traditionally. Even though there has been a spike in the rate of the women going in, there has not been a spike on helping their needs to be fulfilled in particular. My whole hope is that not that we get rid of the cause or the helping of men going into prison, but that we actually bring up the standard for the women. It's imbalanced. My hope is that within the next year, hopefully at least within the next 5 years, that there is a notable balance, especially in the Contra Costa County region, on helping the particular needs of women coming out of the criminal justice system.
women respond differently to certain kind of stimulus in regards to cognitive restructuring. They respond completely differently in groups. One of the things Barbara Owen taught me, and a study showed in Chowchilla when it was a women's prison, the work she did there, that process groups work well with women, but process groups generally don't work well with men.
What I understand gender responsiveness to mean, personally to me, is really just equality of respect for women. I think a lot of policy addresses issues that are important to everyone, but they lack a special consideration of what women face, because everyone knows there are so many unique struggles that women have to face every day, but a lot of these policies overlook that. So I think in practice it would be really considering what women need and making special accommodations to make sure that they're not neglected.
We're going to say, why should we respond this way? What's the benefit? If it's everyone's in a group and we help everybody, why should we discriminate, or why should we focus on just one group? But I think there's plenty of reasons to do that.
There needs to be more trauma-informed recovery programs for the women. Many of them have been sexually abused. The last statistics is within maybe 90% of those who have been incarcerated have some form of sexual abuse background that they have suffered. Many of them, I would say 80 to 70% of them have some form of drug abuse or alcohol abuse that they need to be assisted with. And then homelessness is a great norm in this population, and we really need to step up the housing availability to these women and really show support in some of the efforts that they try to make, but they tend to hit a brick wall because there's not a lot out there for them. Housing, treatment, education, all kind of different aspects. Child support, child custody issues.
One, I think there's males that come out of prison want to be reunited with their families. They don't work very hard at it. Females want to get out and they want to be reunited with their families, and they try to do it. I'm not talking about, these are gross exaggerations, of course. We know, just like bail studies tell us and risk needs assessments that talk about pretrial services, if there's somebody connected to a family in a meaningful way, their chance of recommitting criminal offenses is reduced. We know that, okay? So if we can get these women out, have them settle in, stay away from the bad people that have got them in a bind, and not all of them have pimps, but a lot of them do, and we have to do something to intervene in that, and that's why I was interested in a more gender responsive.
Poor people gonna rise up, get their share.
My advice is keep the door open. Allow dialogue on this subject. Allow yourself to see things a little differently than you did years ago, especially when it comes to women and reentry. And just be open. Open to the change and open to the possibilities of a new life for these women. Because without the understanding and without the legislature's understanding of there is hope, then there will always be no hope for those who are coming home from the women coming home from incarceration.
There's an easy answer to it all, and everything shows that we need to be more aggressive with it. And I think the biggest disappointment I have about it, this county-wide, is really who's doing any of that. Reach. Who else is doing gender stuff in Contra Costa in a meaningful way?
It's a lot to be done, and we can only do so much at a short period of time. But I'm hoping that we make a real dent in this issue, and hopefully within the next 5 to 10 years, we actually accomplish everything that all of our goals that we have set forth for this population.
What made sense was we should be keeping them safe. And if we can deliver good services while they're with us, maybe, just maybe, we'll give them the skills not to fall into the same traps they fell in before.
Poor people gonna rise up and take what's theirs.